Hey YouTubers, have you ever been trying to clean a bolt and put a bolt in a set of vice grips and used a wire wheel on a drill to try to clean the threads on a bolt? I know you have, because I have done it many times. Also, have you ever tried to clean a bolt on a wire wheel? I know you have, and it's dangerous. You get your hands caught in the grinder, or get hit with a bolt when it flies off. Well, I've got a new product that I want to review for you today. It's called Thread Wizzard. It's been out for several years, just hadn't been promoted a whole lot. And I seen one on Facebook, and I reached out to the company, and I got them to send me a couple of these out. And I just wanted to show you how it works. This is my very first time ever using it, and I just unpackaged it just so you guys can see what it looks like. It's a little handheld tool, and looks the same pretty much on both sides. And what this is it's got a bunch of different holes in this little tool here for different size bolts. And you can see right here that this particular bolt that I have fits that hole. And then you want to take a drill or an impact, and you just take and you run it in that little hole. And when you do, it's got a little wire wheel on the inside that cleans the threads. And I'm fixing to demonstrate that for you. You can see right here that this bolt is rusty and nasty, and this, like I said, this is going to be my first attempt at cleaning this and using this tool. And you can see I've got a it's just a Torx bit set up here on my impact, and I'm gonna run it in for you. Now you can see that it took all that thick grit and rust off that bolt and made it clean. Now they said that you could run it through there several times, and the more you run it through there, the better it'll clean it. And I'm going to go through here and I'm going to run it through again. And you can tell every time you run it through there, it gets more clean. So I think it's a pretty cool product. I think it works pretty well. Let's run it through there a few more times and see just how good it cleans it. And you guys can see that the threads are perfectly cleaned, and it cleaned this bolt up really nice. I've got another one right here in those vice grips, and you can see just how rusty the bolt is all the way around it. I'm gonna pull it out. And there you go. You can see. Then you find the exact size that it is. You just run it in through there. And you can see that it cleaned it off the threads absolutely perfect. There's nothing left on those threads where they were completely rusted up and they had dirt and trash on them. You can see that it is cleaned those threads right off nicely. So this is a great product. It's made in America. All the parts are sourced in America, and so I found that pretty amazing. And also it's rebuildable. And what I mean by that is, let's say the wire wheel starts to get worn down, which they say that this one product, this one Thread Wizzard, can be used up to 3,000 times. In fact, I spoke to the owner, and he said they've got one that they've used 3,000 times, and it still works. But he said that if for some reason one of the holes started not cleaning like it should, then you can take and pull it apart. And because what's on the inside is a really stiff wire wheel, and when you take this Phillips head screw out, then it'll expose this wire wheel once you pull the plate off, and you can move that wire wheel around and orient it into another hole, and it'll work like it's brand new until you move it around so many times. Then you'll just have to get a wire wheel replacement or just replace the tool. I mean, they're $20, so to clean 3,000 bolts without having to get hurt or get your arm torn off by a grinder with a wire wheel on it, that's a cheap price to pay. But anyways, the tool works good. Like I said, they come in a standard, and then they also come in a metric. They come in 2 different sizes. So you've got a red one and a blue one, and it covers a bunch of different sizes. For the metric, it covers a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and a 14 millimeter metric bolt. For the standard size, it covers a number 10, a number 12, a 1/4 inch, a 3/8, a 5/16, 7/16, a 1/2 inch, and a 9/16. So it covers a bunch of different bolts, and it seems to work with everything that you could think of. These are the most common size bolts on a car, and I don't know that you could come up with an easier, more simple product to clean the bolt with. I've got to run in the house for just a second and grab a screwdriver. I'm going to pull this plate off so I can show you how to move that wire wheel behind this plate. Alright guys, you can see right here on the front it's got the Phillips head screw, and then on the back side it's just got like a little nut insert. And what you want to do is just hold the back and then take a Phillips head and unscrew this while you're holding the back. Then once you get it loosened up, you can undo that with your hand. Then you can reach right here and pull this little plate off. When you remove that plate, you can see behind it is this wire wheel. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I hadn't used the product before, but I did take this plate off and inspect this wire wheel. And I'll go ahead and tell you, this wire wheel is stronger than any wire wheel I've ever seen. It is built, the little wire pieces on it are super strong. You can't really move them around like you could this wire wheel that's on my drill. The little pieces of metal are really stiff. And so the way that you could move this around is just take, and let's say you got it quit cleaning this bigger size hole right here. You can take and just move the wire wheel around by switching it to another side and then putting it in, and just putting it back in. And so once you get it pushed back up in there, then you put your clamps or your little plates back on, and then you put your screw back in. And then now you have a completely new wire wheel to clean those threads. So it's that simple. It's a very simple product. I wished I would have thought of it, but if you guys doing a lot of mechanic work or anything where you're needing some nuts and bolts cleaned, or anything that'll fit inside those little holes that'll clean it. Let's say you've got some rod, some round stock or something you want to run through there and clean, I'm sure that it would clean that really well too. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching the video. I hope you enjoyed me bringing you this video, and make sure you check this company out, Wizzard. I'll put a link in the description, and I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe.